Thank you for joining me for this month's Ingredient Spotlight. I'm Dr. Vanessa, and today we will be discussing endocannabinoids and how to boost them. But first, what are cannabinoids? Well, cannabinoids are a diverse group of lipid-based compounds that control the endocannabinoid system. And how they do this is by binding to cannabinoid receptors. Now, there are two major ways of obtaining cannabinoids. One way is our body can make them. These are called endocannabinoids. In fact, the first identified cannabinoid made in the body is called anandamide. The second way of obtaining cannabinoids is from plants. These are called phytocannabinoids, like CBD, which is cannabidiol. However, the most notable phytocannabinoid is tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC. This is that psychoactive compound. Now, let's take a quick look at some of the receptors. Now, these receptors are located along the surface of certain cells throughout our body, and only certain cannabinoids can bind to certain receptors, kind of like a key in a lock. These receptors modulate the activity of the endocannabinoid system. There are several different types of receptors, as you can see here. Now, CB1 and CB2 are the primary cannabinoid receptors. THC can bind to CB1 receptors, which are really plentiful in the brain. Now, CB2 receptors are abundantly located outside of the central nervous system, although they can be found in the brain as well. So our primary focus will be to activate the CB2 receptors as opposed to CB1. Now, GPR119 is an endocannabinoid receptor found in the digestive tract that supports healthy insulin levels and can modulate our weight. TRPV1 is not considered an endocannabinoid receptor per se, but rather a channel that some endocannabinoids can interact with. Since these receptors do modulate the endocannabinoid system, let's take a look at why we're so excited about this system. Now, unlike other systems in the body, like the endocrine system and the cardiovascular system, the endocannabinoid system is considered the master regulator of these systems, consisting of signaling molecules, enzymes, and receptors that all work together to promote balance and proper function of other body systems. Scientists have found endocannabinoid receptors located throughout the body. The main function of the endocannabinoid system is really to maintain homeostasis, which is really that way of maintaining biological harmony in response to changes in the environment. Now, we do know the endocannabinoid system is involved in a wide variety of processes, including comfort, memory, mood, and appetite. So in the last year, more interest has been given to this very important body system, and with good reason. The endocannabinoid system regulates like the immune system, metabolism, muscle function, the central nervous system, the GI system, hormone regulation, and even bone health. But the problem is the endocannabinoid signaling can actually decrease as we age. And evidence is pointing to the endocannabinoid system influencing the pace of our aging process. So with growing awareness, many people would like to take advantage of the endocannabinoid system's unique benefits, but due to poor market regulation and still legal status issues, some people would prefer to support the endocannabinoid system with naturally occurring, trusted, and safe ingredients, but without the use of CBD, hemp, or THC. The solution is to bolster the activity of the endocannabinoid system in 3 different ways. First, we want to decrease the breakdown of our naturally produced endocannabinoids. Second, we want to increase the amount of functional circulating endocannabinoids. And third, we want to target the endocannabinoid receptors without using CBD, hemp, or THC. Now, to achieve this, let's first talk about red clover extract. Now, red clover is providing a phytonutrient called biotin A, which inhibits the enzyme that breaks down our naturally produced endocannabinoid, anandamide. This enzyme is called fatty acid amide hydrolase, abbreviated FAAH. So we do not want too much FAAH activity if we want a strong endocannabinoid system. So let's take a look at a study. This is a combination study of an in vitro, meaning a test tube study, and an in vivo, meaning in life, like for example, an animal study, like this mouse study. Now the researchers were investigating the effects of biochanin A on the enzyme FAAH. Now the dosing used was 10 milligrams per kilogram of body weight of anandamide and 15 milligrams per kilogram of body weight of biochanin A. Now, the results of the test tube portion of the study was that biochanin A significantly inhibited FAAH enzyme activity and reduced the breakdown of anandamide. The results of the in-life portion, that in vivo portion of the study, found that biochanin A produced potentiation of the anandamide through the testing of pain sensation, heat sensation, and total activity of the mice. So this is showing evidence that biochanin A from red clover can decrease the breakdown of our naturally occurring endocannabinoids. Next, let's talk about a fatty acid called oleoethanolamide, which is structurally similar to those endocannabinoids like anandamide. But it is a bioactive fatty acid that plays a role in energy homeostasis, protects the metabolic and cardiovascular systems, and provides protection for the nervous system. Now, the good news is that oleoethanolamide does not interact with that same cannabinoid receptor as THC, the CB1 receptor. Instead, it activates GPR119 receptor and that TRPV1 channel to support the endocannabinoid system. And lastly, let's take a look at a combination of nutrients from rosemary, clove, and black pepper to support the important endocannabinoid system. So rosemary, clove, and black pepper all contain a phytonutrient called beta-caryophyllene. Now, beta-caryophyllene activates the important CB2 receptors. Now, black pepper also contains a phytonutrient called guanosine, which acts as an anandamide reuptake inhibitor. So it's keeping anandamide around a little bit longer. A little more detail about the importance of the CB2 receptors is that they are located again throughout the body and can inhibit inflammation, both in the peripheral and central nervous systems. So CB2 receptors can assist in pain reduction. Also, anandamide is one of the two most prominent endocannabinoids. It's not just the first identified. So keeping anandamide around a little bit longer can assist in regulating like motivation and pleasure pathways. So to recap, to boost the endocannabinoid system in 3 ways. We talked about biochanin A from red clover to assist in decreasing the breakdown of our natural endocannabinoids. We also talked about how biochanin A and guanosine from black pepper, they can help increase the amount of functional circulating endocannabinoids. And then finally, that oleoethanolamide fatty acid and the beta-caryophyllene, they target the endocannabinoid receptors themselves, like the CB2 receptors. So all of this is to promote the unique benefits of the endocannabinoid system. So who would benefit from this special combination of ingredients? Well, adults looking for endocannabinoid system support, but prefer not to take CBD, hemp, or THC, or adults that may already be taking CBD and hemp oil and would like to add a little more comprehensive of an approach. And for those looking for a product for supporting healthy aging, since the endocannabinoid system can influence the pace at which we age. I'm Dr. Vanessa for Life Extension. Thank you for listening.